Hi, my name is Pamela Quinn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a heart meditation, and we're doing it at exactly 2:18, and that's when that's when Mars actually comes to join with Saturn in Aquarius at 0 degrees. So it's a significant time. It's an incredible opportunity for all of us to step into roles as helpers and healers, to step back and look at the big picture and start constructing this new future that we're all kind of moving into anyway. Like, you're going to go there, you might as well go there happily. It's really hard to help others when you're just so messed up yourself. So it's been crazy the times that we're in. And if you're anything like me, I know my heart has been hurting. I've been having anxiety and all kinds of, just terrible, terrible feelings. Others. We'll practice for about 10 minutes. So you'll hear a chime at the end of all of it. And let your toes soften and your knees soften and your hips soften too. Take a breath in through your nose and just let it go, softening the shoulders. And then we're going to breathe from the belly, inhaling into the belly space. Belly button pushes out. Air lifts up into the lungs and out through the shoulders. Eyes are closed. Or you can have your eyes kind of at a half slit, maybe looking at the tip of the nose. Just for a moment, honor, acknowledge how you feel emotionally. Name it, claim it. And then place your attention on your heart, Anahata chakra. The color is green. Maybe you can sense your heart beating in your chest. And start to send your in-breath to your heart. And imagining your out-breath to the whole world. As you're breathing in, I want you to introduce the idea of gratitude. And as you're breathing out, introduce the ideal of health and healing for the world. Peace, love, harmony, whatever resonates with you. And go ahead and picture someone that you deeply love, or maybe deeply love but are having conflict with, someone, something. And as you're breathing in, just direct gratitude, love, compassion towards that being. And then as you're breathing out, light, love, health, hope, healing, harmony, peace to the world. And just hold that visualization, breathing in, gratitude, holding that person in your heart, breathing out, hope for the planet. And just stay with that. And taking a big breath in, big breath out. And just roll your chin down to your chest. And maybe lean forward a little bit and just let your thoughts arise organically. Maybe committing to doing this practice every day, 5 or 10 minutes. That's all you need right now. Thank you for joining me. Satnam. I'll hang on for a few minutes if anyone has any questions, because we are live, or just turn it off and go enjoy feeling relaxed. But I'll slide forward for questions. Colleen's, will you talk a little bit about what waiting out the month means? I think I understand. Yeah, so, wow, the astrology that's on us right now is just incredible. Things are going to shift probably around the 22nd. Without getting too complicated, there's the planets and the stars, which I think everyone's familiar with, and even asteroids and things like that. But there's also a shadow on the Earth. And if you've seen Earth from space, you've seen a shadow. Half the Earth is light and half of it is dark. And these shadows are called the nodes. So there's a north node and there's a south node. They call it the dragon's head and the dragon's tail. And every 18 and a half years, these nodes get into a precarious position, we'll say. And they get into this position, which is of like drowning and tears and great sorrow. And it happens like every 18 and a half years. So if you subtract this, right now we're in this pandemic, but if you subtract 18 and a half years, we hit 9/11, and that elevated, decimated, changed the consciousness of man like pretty abruptly. And then if you go back, we've got the HIV epidemic, really. And, when you talk to people living during that time, especially people suffering from HIV at that time, we just ignored it. It was just chaos, right? And that certainly changed the consciousness of man. And then if you go back, it's JFK, and we can keep going back and back and back. So when these nodes get in a certain position, they dynamically change our consciousness. I think it's really interesting right now. If you look at the results of 9/11 versus the results of what we're going through now, it's affecting the financial markets. It's affected aerospace dynamically. It's going to affect the way we consume. The way we live is dynamically changing. Like, we're not going to go back to school and back to work and back to the life we had before, So it's very interesting. Like, I think, good things always come out of chaos. But there's just certain things coming up, like today was a big day with Mars conjoining Saturn in Aquarius. So Aquarian energy is that humanitarian energy. Saturn is structure and form, and Mars makes actionable change. So people right now could become very emotional, very violent, even thoughtward indeed. There's a lot of confusion right now. So most of what you're hearing is not true. Like, we just don't know. And I don't know that people are intentionally lying to us or you, but I think people are just coming from a place of fear and they're not knowing. You're going to see this mask makes our fear go away, because we're like, oh, this is why, or this is what's going on. But it's just going to be really, really chaotic through really the 22nd. And then in May, we're going to have a little bump in the middle of the month. But if we can just sit still right now and digest our own fear and insecurity, pay attention to what is coming up for you. Many of us are running around with our heads chopped off all the time, and we've never had this much staycation. We're always like, I wish I could have a staycation. Well, now you got one, right? And now you're forced to deal with yourself and to deal with everyone around you. So just, you don't have to be still for a month, but avoid drama for a month, avoid strong opinions for a month. When people are coming at you, and they will come at you, try to just look at them as like another being full of fear, and come from a place of compassion. So one of the sutras for the Aquarian age is understand through the lens of compassion, or you'll misunderstand the times. Everyone's doing their best. The yogi way is to greet people exactly where they are. Don't even care if they change or they don't change. It's their journey, right? And then the practice is to elevate yourself. See, I think someone else asked another question. Elise, you had posted a bit ago to not make any decisions before 3/31, put off decisions until, yeah. And I mean, it's astrology, right? It's right now, though, I don't think you need the stars to tell you it's a bad time to make decisions. So, as soon as they told me I had to clink and, trying to file for unemployment and all the stuff that, you're supposed to do, and I knew to do it right away, right? And so I did it. And it's all just been rejected on every level. And then it doesn't even matter, because every single day, everything's changing. You can't keep up with it. You can't even get on like websites to do things right now. They're all crashing, and we just don't know. So what can we do is, we can try to make plans. We can visualize for our best future. We can think about how things were before, money and more levies and stuff. And what they're going to figure out is, we don't need all those big buildings. Kids learn very effectively online. And yes, there's socialization and all that other stuff. But I think, school's going to change. College is going to change. I think, we've been talking for 20 years about working from home, working remotely, and nobody has taken the plunge, because it's just like, it's too crazy. It's too big. It's too new. Well, now we've all been forced into it. The grocery stores, they're going to change. They're going to figure out, you know what? We don't need these big, huge buildings. Like, we can do delivery. We can have curbside pickup. We can downgrade our footprint dynamically. And so that it's all just going to be different. You're seeing people like at Amazon and Whole Foods are on strike today, right? Well, the way essential employees are getting paid, treated, and respected, that's going to change. So I don't know. It's all going to change. It's going to change in ways we can't imagine, but it's going to change in Aquarian ways. So Aquarius energy, it is New Age energy, okay? It's not occultish energy. It's not religious energy. It's New Age energy, which is really interesting. Spirituality is going to change. Religion's going to change. Your personal practice is going to change. We're going to look at food consumption a lot differently than we have in the past. People are going to start getting a lot healthier. Aquarian is the humanitarian. So we're going to step back and we're going to start looking at how to take care of people en masse. And Aquarian energy will sacrifice the individual for the collective. And so I think it's so interesting, what they did in China, in Wuhan, is, and I know it sounds cold, right? But they had a meeting and they said, we're willing to let so many people in this city die. We're going to lock down the city. We're willing to sacrifice those people so that all of China doesn't end up, with this thing. That's very Aquarian energy. And that's where we're at. But right now, it's just not a good time to decide anything, because you're just making fear-based decisions, not heart-centered decisions, and you just don't know. So if we're just patient for a month, work on the self, do our meditations, I think you're going to have a much, much better, healthier outcome for you. Let me see who else jumped on here. She said, you got that right. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's nice to have someone to talk to. It's not lonely in the studios, I won't say that, but you can feel they're missing you. There's a huge energy shift here today, though. And I also felt a big energy shift during our meditation. So I hope you felt that too. All right, guys. Mwah. I love you. I love you. Be healthy. Bye.